Minecraft has always been a game divided in two, a world composed of diametrically opposed dyads. There's light, and there's dark. And there's day, and there's night. And there's life, and there's death. There's the overworld, and beneath it, there's the Nether. Although it may not be physically below the surface of the overworld's bedrock barrier, the fiery plane of existence known as the Nether is symbolically beneath the overworld. It is the place every player sinks to sooner or later. You can play Minecraft without ever entering the Nether, but no one ever does. Morbid curiosity motivates you, the player who, within the confines of Minecraft, are canonically the last human left. And your curiosity must be satisfied at any and all costs. You don't need to go deeper. You want to. You relish the challenge. You laugh in the face of danger. And any seasoned Minecraft player, there's reason to laugh, for there is no danger in the Nether. The fears you once felt when first entering that place of fire and fury which seemed to brim with danger from every conceivable nook, cranny, and corner have faded over time. But if you stop, and if you look around, if you pay close attention to the sights and sounds, if you find the strength within yourself to see the Nether for the first time once more, through the eyes of the unexperienced, uninitiated, and easily intimidated, you may find that your former fears of the Nether weren't entirely unfounded. Because Minecraft's hellish underworld has changed, but not many people understand just how deep those changes truly are. Mojang has transformed what was once a vast and barren brimstone plain into one teeming with strange, almost alien life, and its implications on the world of Minecraft aren't appreciated nearly enough, at least in my opinion. When you first step through the iconic frame of obsidian and into the Nether, you might be confronted with the familiar sight of winding walls of netherrack trapping you in yet another claustrophobic catacomb of blood-red uniformity. But as you slowly make your way from the place where your portal spawned, you'll find that you have indeed entered into a fresh new hell. Because the Nether is now alive, populated like never before. The once lifeless landscape has been transformed into a teeming hub of strange flora, fauna, and fungi of all shapes and sizes. Leafy tendrils of impossibly vibrant colors crawl down from the netherrack roof above, or sprout up from the ground below. The air, too, is different. Flickering ashes float above you in the murky gloom of the Nether's newly multicolored skies, denoting the changes in temperature as you venture deeper and deeper down. Massive lakes of molten lava span as far as the eye can see, cascading and flowing, hissing almost alluringly, as if to seduce the player to take the fiery plunge. Soul sand, once an exclusive feature of these lakeside lava beaches, has spread across the Nether, now deposited in the burning blue skies of the arid valleys where the bleached white skeletons of once great beasts lay buried amongst the screaming sands. Great gray pillars of basalt and blackstone erupt from beneath the surface, forming deltas of dramatic proportions. This grim and ghastly environment is illuminated solely by the light of perpetually burning fires, pools of lava, porous hunks of glowing rock jutting from cavernous ceilings of netherrack, and the ever so slightly pulsating glow of the living lights that grow atop the most massive mushrooms that the Nether has to offer. The biomes are hardly the only aspect of Minecraft's most hellish environment to receive an overhaul. Of course, the Nether is not without its shortage of mobs. Some are familiar. Endermen, non-natives here, seem to be drawn to one of its newest biomes. Unsurprisingly enough, the one where the world itself seems warped and gravity has willingly relinquished its control over the foliage found therein. Skeletons and their charred, withered variety can still be found perched atop the parapets of nether fortresses near and far, as can the fiery blaze. Magma cubes may have migrated towards the basalt deltas, but they can still be seen hopping from pillar to pillar on occasion. And all of this ominous, foreign, unfriendly atmosphere is punctuated by the periodic cries of a child, the grim calling card of the ghast. So yes, some mobs are still familiar. Some mobs. Others are not. Previously, the player might have had the misfortune to encounter the rotting carcass of a bipedal pig, its skin decayed, sagging and sallow, revealing its partially exposed skeleton beneath. Despite their horrific appearance, though, these creatures are still somehow the most amicable of Minecraft's menagerie of the undead, and for the longest time the players simply called them pigmen. But to call them pigmen is to discount what they were before their passing from the mortal plane. These zombies were once living, breathing piglin, and it is these creatures that now populate this new Nether. What remains the most mysterious about the piglin is its relationship with its zombified predecessor. Despite the message sent by their otherwise vacant eye sockets, zombie piglins still possess some limited capacity for intelligence, proving that they were still capable of territorial pack-like hunting. But the piglin itself is an entirely different beast. Make no mistake, they still possess the same prowess of pack hunting that their reanimated cadaver counterparts possess. It seems as though this is one skill that fails to decay after death for the piglin species. But what sets the piglins apart is their uncanny aptitude for intelligence. They're a nomadic tribe and fiercely territorial, willing to viciously maul and maim any player that infringes on their territory unequipped with adequate knowledge of Piglin customs. One such custom is the tendency of the Piglin to fashion themselves crude garments and weapons made out of gold. Unlike skeletons and zombies, who were undead humans of the overworld, who were presumably transformed in their current state, still wearing their old armor, the Piglins of the Nether have had to fend for themselves, and their golden gear was crafted by their own two hands, or, well, hooves. The smaller of two porcine species inhabiting the Nether, Piglin were probably hunted mercilessly by their natural predators, the semi-cannibalistic creatures known as hoglins, for eons on end, running naked and afraid through the Nether until they discovered that they could harness the power of gold to protect themselves, turning the formerly meek and mild Piglin from the hunted into the hunters. Piglin society owes its entire existence and freedom from the dangers of the hoglins to gold, and as such they are possessive of their most prized mineral, and will not hesitate to dismember anyone that attempts to disturb any caches, chests, or ores of the glittering golden commodity. However, should the player arrive to the Nether sporting a set of golden armor of their own, the Piglins seem to take it as a sign of solidarity, and learn to leave you be. Bringing ingots of gold into the Nether also brings the opportunity to barter with the Piglin, as they will gladly trade away a great many miscellaneous spoils from their hunt for more gold. Ender pearls, potions, fungi, arrows, crying obsidian, and much more are all available through this mutually beneficial bartering system that Piglin kind has concocted. But perhaps it is this that makes the Piglin so scary, in a conceptual sense that is. They're intelligent, perhaps even one of the most intelligent mobs that Minecraft has to offer. They have a discernible social hierarchy with the leather-clad hunters at the bottom and black-wearing brutes at the top. They're not as hapless as the villagers of the overworld, rather, they are simply protective of the realm which they view as their property, and willing to attack any that they deem to be unfriendly. They are capable of mining, crafting their own armor, and even building those crudely constructed strongholds of blackstone that they call bastions. Their motivations are understandable. Unlike the other adamantly aggressive mobs which make up Minecraft, Piglins have very specific conditions under which they will behave in very specific ways, which indicates their highly developed nature. They are, as of right now, the closest thing that Minecraft has to humans. And perhaps most disturbingly of all, deep beneath layer after layer of netherrack lies the greatest and most horrifying aspect of the new Nether: scraps and shards of metallic debris from a long-forgotten age. We can assume that the Piglin weren't responsible for its creation. After all, they seem to be stuck in the fledgling stages of their species' evolution. So were these long-lost scraps of metal made by an ancient hell-dwelling society of humans? Those who made the fortresses, perhaps? Was this legendary wreckage the creation of the Wither Skeletons, or whatever the Wither Skeletons were before their bodies were burned, charred, and flayed alive by the fires of the blaze? We don't know, and we might never know the mysterious past of this ancient debris or its equally mysterious makers. Whoever they were certainly more intelligent than even the player, as they managed to invent an entirely novel material more durable than diamond and with only the inefficient and antiquated technologies afforded to them by the past. But while it's senseless to speculate on the past of the debris, what we can consider is its future. We know that the Piglin can mine. How else would they have gotten their gold? And we know that the Piglin are slowly evolving to become more intelligent, more creative, less cautious, more dangerous. So, if the player was able to discover the secrets of this ancient debris, what's stopping the Piglin? But that would be ridiculous, of course. Harvesting the debris would be nigh impossible without a diamond pickaxe, which just so happens to be one of the items that can possibly spawn within the clutches of the Piglin Bastion's chests, as if to imply that the Piglins themselves have slowly been accumulating a secret hoard of those shiny blue overworld stones. In fact, this harvest of ancient debris might already have begun. Ancient debris and even netherite scraps can be uncovered in the Bastion's worn walls as well, which means that Piglin kind has already learned how to smelt the debris into scraps. All they have to do is learn how to combine these clusters of netherite scrap with gold, and pour that molten metallic material atop diamonds, and Piglin kind could learn to craft their own netherite armor. I know it seems far-fetched, but it's something to consider the next time you venture into the fiery infernos of the Nether through that swirling obsidian gateway. Just remember that the next time you're ransacking a bastion to grab all its gold or bartering with Piglin, you aren't alone, and you're far from the only intelligent lifeform dwelling in Minecraft's literal hell. You might be an experienced player, and you might not be afraid of the Nether anymore. You might think you've outgrown the fears of the inexperienced, of the uninitiated, of the new. But you're wrong, because in hell, there's always something new to fear. I'm Frostbyte Freeman, and I hope that my words were enough to make you feel that long-lost fear again, if only for a moment. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, you're in luck. This video is a spiritual sequel to this earlier upload about the horror potential of Minecraft's brand new Caves and Cliffs update, so if you enjoyed this video, I have a feeling you might enjoy that one too. Let me know in the comment section down below if you'd be interested in seeing more Minecraft deep dives like this one. And until next time, stay frosty.